1, 2, 3, 4. Hi gang, how's it going? A slightly random video today. It's going to be a very quick one. I'm going to run through what I just did and I'm going to show you how to do it all with one finger. After that, I'm going to just have a bit of a chat, talk you through what's going on with the channel and etc. I made a video recently and it was how to play guitar with 3 fingers, and the response to that video was absolutely awesome. I got some really amazing responses, people emailing me, taking the time to go and find my website and get in touch on like Facebook and stuff like that, and telling me really amazing stories about how they were struggling to play guitar with like a limited number of fingers, or fingers that had sort of problems where they were locked in place. It was so inspiring to hear about all these people who are like fighting to be able to play a bit of guitar, you know? And it really doesn't make any difference if you've got 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, however many you've got. So I'm going to assume that your fretting hand has 1 finger on it in this video, and the idea is play some super cool blues grooves that are going to get people tapping their feet, and you could play for hours on end, and you don't need any more than 1 finger to do it. So, as I've just played for you at the beginning of the video, the riff is really simple. I'm putting my fingers behind the fingerboard here so that you can clearly see I'm only using 1 finger. Now obviously there's a certain amount of guitar technique in what I'm playing here, so I'm assuming that you can pick to some degree. The emphasis is not really going to be on the right hand, because maybe, I suppose it could be argued that if you have more fingers on this hand, then really you should be fretting with that hand. But I don't know. There we go. Here we go. It's supposed to be helpful, and for somebody out there trying to play guitar with 1 finger. And it's also just a stupid video. So basically, tune your guitar to concert tuning, and then drop your A string, which is the 2nd or 5th string, whichever you want, the 2nd wound string down. Drop that down a tone or 2 steps. So use a tuner to do it, and you want to take it down to G. So that's G on the bottom E, and that's G on the A string, and that's the only tuning difference that I've made. This riff that I'm playing only involves the A, which is now tuned to G, the D string, and the G string. So there are only 3 strings involved in this riff. I'm not going to explain any harmonies to you here. The point of this is, if you don't know anything or you don't know very much, then here's a riff that you can play and sound about as good as C6 Steve and impress your friends. Okay, so that is now a chord, it is now a G chord. Okay, and the main riff, this is based around a 12-bar blues sequence, but it's got a cool funky groove to it. So this is the sort of tempo. Okay, so that's the main riff. So what we're basically doing is we're playing, the first note is the open G note on the A string. So what I'm doing then is I'm playing an open D string, and I'm playing a hammer-on up to the 3rd fret. So that's what that looks like. Okay, hope that's all clear. So I'm playing that note again then after the hammer-on. Now I'm playing upstrokes because that's my style and technique, but if you don't have upstrokes in your arsenal, then just do it all with downstrokes. Okay, that's really simple, isn't it? Right, so the next bit is up to the G string. Okay, nothing being fretted now. Yeah, okay. And now we're playing an open D string. I hope that's clear. I don't know if I'm a good teacher or not. And now we're going to play our next note with our 1 finger, which is on the G string at the 3rd fret. Okay? far in this whole thing, we've just played 2 fretted notes. That's one of them. And that's the next one. Okay, so we've got the first part of our lick. Probably a good idea to just play that over and over again. It loops quite nicely. Actually, it's quite a nice lick. I'm going to steal this and make a song out of it. But we've got a little bit more to this lick. So after the first half of it, we let that G string open ring for a little bit. We've got a pull off from the 3rd fret on the D string again. So that's what I'm doing there with my one finger. Okay. Okay. And then the last bit of the riff is another fretted note. So this is the first time that we fretted the A string, which is tuned to G. And I'm putting a little bit of a bend on this one and letting go of it. So letting go of the string really cleanly is really important, because if you don't, it won't ring out. So I'm kind of, that's an extreme version of it, but I'm sort of bending and letting go. And if you listen to the sound of that bend, I'm pulling down on the string. I don't bend it a lot at first, but I sort of bend it sort of exponentially more. So it's quite slow, and then and then to the point where you bend it right up and let go of it. So this is one of those bluesy kind of bends where it's somewhere between a minor and a major third, but we're not going to go there. There's no point over explaining things again. So slowly, the whole riff with one finger is. So I'm actually putting in a little note in between, aren't I, on the D string. That little one there. So sorry, I think I neglected to put that one in. You could not put it in. So that was without it, but this is with it. So I accentuated the note there. I might be changing this riff as I'm playing it, because I only just played that riff for the first time 5 minutes ago. So I tend to find that riffs develop very, very quickly after I first conceived them. Yeah, so I'm playing the riff slightly different every time, aren't I? So the whole riff really, if I play it through twice, so every second time I'm playing this riff, I'm just letting that G string ring out and then starting it off again. So yeah, it creates more interest in the riff. So basically, this being a 12-bar blues kind of sequence. Right, so we need to play it 4 times. So it's like, I'm looking at it as like 2 cycles of 2, given the fact that every other one, the string rings out. So now we're going to play something really simple. We're going to move up to the 5th fret. And this is going to be a C chord. So again, now we just use one finger and we're just playing those 3 notes. We're still on those 3 strings, sorry. We're still playing those 3 strings, the A string, the D string, and the G string. And kind of what you do here is up to you, right? So you could just go... Yep, okay. But if you want to be a bit more adventurous, so what I should also say is we go up there for 2 bars, but just listen and play along with I'll play the sequence a few times for you and you can play along with it. And if you don't know bars and beats and things, you can just get a feel for how long that lasts, okay? It's all about tapping your foot and being in this rhythm that I'm sort of I'm taking my time to try and get into. It's a really crucial part of this, okay? So let's say you wanted to play something a bit more adventurous. Yeah, okay, so that's a bit more interesting. So I'm using my one finger to slide up on those three strings. Or I could be playing something like the similar. We played this in the riff, didn't we? Yeah, so these two chords on the third and the fifth fret respectively. This is the target chord. The C is the target chord on the fifth fret here. But you know. Yeah, pretty much anything you play sounds good. And we're approaching it almost like we've got a slide, but we haven't got a slide. In fact, I'm gonna do this again. It's like some more advanced soloing techniques, I think, because like some of those Derek Trucks licks. Yeah, that you can actually do some of the slide stuff without a slide. You know, just with your one finger. Okay, so then basically after we've done this bit on the, I'll play everything up to that first change, okay? Okay, so we played that riff another two times when we went back to the G. Yeah, and now we do almost the same thing as we did before, but for the first half of it, we're going to go up to the 7th fret, which is there, okay? If you get used to looking at that. 7th fret, same 3 strings. Okay, so now we're playing the D. Okay, so that completes a sequence. So when we go up to this D here, it's the same length of time that we spent on the C position when we went up here for the first change. So if we count that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's the same length of time, but we go up to the 7th fret for one group of 4, which is A bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I hope you can see that it is basically the same thing, and you can be as creative with it. And that completes a sequence. I suppose one other thing I should mention is when you go up to these chords, you should really, instead of playing all the chords, you can just play the one note. And play something around that. Because it sounds quite interesting when you go to these. There's the open G ringing out on the G string. So lots of interesting things there. I'm going to play the whole sequence through really slowly, and I'm going to try and give you a really good view of what I'm playing here. Okay, so the idea of this is that you pick up an acoustic guitar, you knock this down, you've got one finger, you go to a party, you get laid. That's basically the point of this video. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll play it a little bit quicker now. 1, 2, 3, 4. thing is, it loops around, so you just keep going. Yeah, so all the rest of that stuff that I put in will be the next lesson. Yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you're done, then turn off. If you want to hear a bit more about the channel, I'm just going to talk for a couple of minutes. So yeah. Okay, right, back in the room. I'm going to carry on with this series with, I think my thing might be how to play with kind of impediments and difficulties and that sort of thing. I sort of strayed away from that for a long time, or shied away from it for a long time, because I don't want to be known as that guy who plays guitar with 3 fingers. But I couldn't believe the response I got from that previous video. And there's a lot of people out there who are playing with yeah. I mean, if I can help, then it's great, you know. That's a good thing. Some other bits and pieces then. Okay, so I've gained quite a lot of subscribers recently. I'm still small potatoes, but you know what? It's really good. I get emails and I get messages every day from you guys. Thank you very much. I would rather have 400 engaged subscribers who are interested in what's going on, and I feel like I've got a dialogue with you, than 20,000 subscribers that, you know, are completely anonymous and I never talk to. Right, I should mention, okay, so as some of you know, I play in a band called 5 Points Gang. We are a blues / soul / funk / fusion band in London and the UK. And obviously after COVID and everything like that, we're really struggling. All of our gigs and festivals just being cancelled like daily, you know, gigs that we had booked in the diary. Which is fine. We've used the time to do some other really cool stuff. But I would really appreciate it if some of you guys are interested. Hop on over to the 5 Points Gang YouTube channel. I will put a card or a link somewhere. I'm not quite sure how I can do it, but I'll also put a link to it in the description below. And we're trying to gain subscribers at the moment. If we can get to like 1,000 subscribers as a band, we're all pushing really hard. We're working flat out on this band all the time, despite there not being any gigs or anything. It's a full-time job for us and it's all we do. So just gaining some subscribers is like a huge thing for us. I will also put our Facebook page. If you're on Facebook and you want to follow the band on Facebook, we do lots of little funny things that we put up there. Everyone in the band plays guitar, so there's lots of cool content. And there's obviously the Instagram page as well. So yeah, if you feel like it and you're interested in hearing sort of some of the gear that I use and, you know, the techniques that I use and everything in practice in the band, we'd really appreciate it if you could also subscribe to some of those things. I think it's really useful when people tell me what they would like to see on the channel. I think I'm getting a better understanding of what I should be doing on this channel now and what my raison d'etre is. Yeah, so some stuff that's going to be coming up soon. Yeah, there's been some updates. So the Strat it's had some serious work done to it recently. Pickups are much lower than they used to be, so I'm going to do a new video about these Seymour Duncan pickups. These are sounding better than ever. You can see I've got the neck in the middle really low, and then the bridge is quite a bit higher. I tried to change over to 10s for a while, but that wasn't really working. But the main news is we have new frets. We've got Dunlop 6100s on here, and yeah, they are awesome. They are huge, as I really love them. The VGA behind has also got 6100s, only they're stainless steel ones. These are nickel. But yeah, and it's got a recut nut on it. So this thing is playing, well, phenomenally well now. Amazing action, compound radius. So I'm going to do another video on the Strat, kind of a bit like a Strat update, as Rabir and Mick from that pedal show were all doing. Other major developments, lockdown purchases. We now have a 1966, I think, black-faced Bandmaster, which is in pretty good nick, but needs a bloody good service and a revalve and everything, because this is going to become my main stage amplifier. Contemplating doing a stereo rig at some point when I'm playing live. But this thing is really cool. The guys on the blackface and silverface Fender forums have been really helpful. But yeah, that's going in for a service soon. So I'm hoping to do some videos on that. Of course, I can't DI it. So, you know, my usual recording solutions, which involve that thing there and that thing there, don't work with this because I need a really good mic to mic it up with, or something like an aux box, which I don't have. So yeah, I don't know how to do something about this. The other major development is this, the Mini Fuzz SI from Jesse Davies, King Tone guitar, which is awesome. I mean, it sounds awesome into the Marshall, but God, it sounds unreal into this. I'm trying to go for more of that sort of vintage-inspired bluesy vibe now. Yeah, so that's the update, the post sort of little lesson update. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, obviously a lot more content to come. As I said, I'm going to try and keep it a bit simpler going forward so that it's not like one YouTube video every 2 weeks or every month. I'm just going to try and do little things like I did today. So yeah, hope you're doing well wherever you are. Hope you're healthy, and speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.